Hello, welcome to Spy Money. We are trading NQ this morning. I like to trade about 6 in the morning. Usually you can get a couple good moves out of it this time of day. Not always, but often you can. Right now we are trading the Sniper. This is my new release indicator, and I tell you what, it'd be really hard to beat this. The signals are spot on. And we'll go over some past history and stuff on this as well. But what it amounts to is if you have a green background, then you take the green longs only. So this one right here is a triangle or a arrow, and you have $435 there. Now this is not a trade I would take, but I will go over that. And then if you have a red on green, you don't take it. If you have a green on red, you don't take it. Even though this right here would have made money, because on this particular chart we're looking for $200 a contract, and on ES we're looking for $100 a contract. And quite honestly, ES is just like works very well, and I'm going to show you that chart as well. And we may even make some trades on ES. But if you look through the night, we do have some pretty major news at 8:30 Eastern time this morning, and that's why you see it just really chopping. You've got a couple breakouts in here, but for the most part it's chopped. So if we look at usually the session open, we can make quite a bit of money and be done. So we're going to look at NQ, and we're going to look at the ES and see which one is going to be beneficial to you. I think that the answer is going to be ES, but we'll see. I haven't even looked at it tonight. I didn't. I traded last night. I traded this short right here, and actually, it was it that one? Let's see, 8. Actually, I think it was. Oh, it was on ES. I'll show you because this is a different chart. Because I traded it down to VWAP last night. But last night, if you ran NQ, again, I haven't even looked at this. This one right here, your entry would have been off of the bottom of that, so you would have got your $200. So there's one winner. And no trade here, no trade there, no trade here, no trade, no trade. This one right here, I would not have taken this, and because of this level right here. When it's that close, I don't take it, but let's just see what would have happened. 140, no. We're looking for 200, and there's not enough room right there for an entry. So we're not going to take that trade. So we've only got one trade in the first hour, and our next trade would be here. This one we would not take because we have this level right here, the standard deviation off of the VWAP. So we don't trade down into that because there's not enough room. And there's barely enough room down to this level, but we would not take that. That's the only rule that you have to follow. So right now we would still be at 1. This one right here would have been a good trade, but we would not have taken that probably. You're too close to your levels. This right here is like a no trade zone. From this level to this level, it's too close. You only have $275. So there's really not enough room here to even trade. You would want to trade from this level to this level down here. That's where you'd want to be. So we still have only one trade. This one we would not take. This one we would take because we do have this level way down here. So this one will be over $200. So there's 2 trades you would have won. This one we would not take because we're going into VWAP. This one, I probably would have taken this one because when we hit the VWAP, we come through and we push through. This would have been discretionary. I probably would have taken this one though, only because the trend has been reversed and going up. This one, of course, won, but I think I would have taken this one with a tight stop. So that would have been 3 for me. And your next trade, see, 11 o'clock at night, so I would already be done. So you'd only had 3 winners at $600. So what we're looking for is 50% of our trade. So NQ is $1,000 per contract, so we're looking to make $500. So you would have made that money on there. So let me look at, let's look at this one here. Hang on a second, I'll show you ES. ES is generally the one I trade, and I traded that last night. So if we look at ES, actually let's do this. Let's just make it, and I'll leave it there. So let's go back. This morning, right here would have been a trade that you could have taken because you have room to that level. So this would have been a winner right here. But it's 5:38, so since 6 o'clock, that's usually when I start trading. We haven't had any trades yet since 6 o'clock. So I would still be here twiddling my thumbs. And then we go back. Let's just look at the session open. Session open seems to do pretty good. This one right here would have been a stop out because we have a $100 loss on it. So you would have stopped out there even though it won. You might have chose to go in there, but maybe not. And I would have taken this one because our level's right there to PS close. We have plenty of room here to make money. So I would have taken this trade, but it would have just been a loss. Actually, back here would be, yeah, 601. This would have been our first entry. I would not have taken this because of the levels, but as you can see, it did pay off. But I would not have taken that one. I would have taken this one and stopped out. This one right here, I would not have taken. We don't have enough room. And this one I would not have taken, even though it was a good one. It's just too much in here. If you look at this, when you start trading, you want to look and see where most of your chop is. And you can see this is just bouncing around, actually right there, on down. This is bouncing around right here. So there's really not enough room there to make your money. So what you want to do is just wait. You know, usually from 6 o'clock on, usually about the first half hour or so, you can make your daily goal. But you know, you can see it's chopping around, so this is just not the night. So when, you know, just because you like to trade at a certain time don't mean that you can. So what you want to do is just walk away and come back an hour later. Look at it again. You know, you may come back several times a day and there's no trades there. It's not trading the way you want. And if it's not, you just don't trade that day. It's better to not make money as to lose money. And that's where a lot of people mess up. They think they have to trade and they have to hit their daily goal every day. And sometimes you can't. Just it's on timing. This one right here, again, we would not have taken. This one right here is coming into the level I would not have taken. This one right here, I would have taken and it would have won. So really, you would have not had but one loser right. Let's see, where's the loser? Right here was the loser. You would have had a loser there, and you would have had a winner here. And this, let's see here. If we go back and look, I traded. It must have been. It wasn't the VWAP I was trading into. It was this level. Because I caught this right here. I was done. I think, let's see, that was at 8:29 when I posted. 8:29. So yeah, it was right. This one right here is the one I traded. Right here. That's the one I caught last night, and I was at 52.25. That's where I'm at right now. So this one right here, I did catch. I did make that trade, and it was a good trade. I mean, you know, you have plenty of room here to make your money, and I went ahead and traded it. If we go back in after that, so you had what, a loser and a winner, so you're broke even, and the next trade would have been right here. There is enough room right there to make that money, so that is a valid trade. So there's two. Actually, it'd be 1 plus 1. None of these would have gotten a trade. And this one would have been a loss at 11.35. This one would have been a winner. So you're back to 1, This one would have been a winner. I would not have taken this one though because of the level. Actually, I wouldn't have taken this one either because of that level. So you can see it chopped around the levels all night. And when you start seeing that, just don't trade. It's just not worth it. You have all of these levels here. Let me draw these out. You have level there, you have a level here, you have a level here, you have one here, and you have two of them right here, plus you have your VWAP, and you've got this level. Now, if you look at it this way and see how tight it is right here, it's just an area that's going to be really hard to trade. And when you have all of these levels, this is the time you walk away. When you start seeing these levels real close to each other, you just don't want to trade it. Like for instance, this one right here. Oops, let me do this. And you have these levels right here. You have the current session open, so in other words, today's open, and you have the previous session closed. When you have these two that are like this, you're better off to draw a chop zone back in here, just a little zone, because if it goes in this area, you really don't want to trade. And if we look at this a little differently, let's back out and we draw this all the way over. You can see every time it got into this zone, it chopped around. You can also, when you draw this zone out, you can see that you have a bottom right here where it's come down into it and pushed up. You can also trade off of those. That's another way you can trade. Maybe you don't use the background of it. Maybe you just use the sniper signal itself and you trade this out. But you know, when you start doing that, then you're starting to mess with the strategy. When you see that the signals really aren't making the money that you want, then you just don't trade. So what happens a lot of times is people they think they have to trade and they won't go back and see how it's been trading. So on this particular one, you know, whenever I come in at, you know, if I'm up here at 6 o'clock in my office, then what I want to do is look at the past hour, maybe even 2 hours, and see how it's been trading. If it's not trading to where I'm making money, then I just walk away. I go do something else and I come back an hour from now and I look at it the last hour when I come back in. Is it trading better now? Now we know that we have major news coming at 8:30, so usually when that happens, we have a choppy night. And when you have a choppy night, you're just going to probably lose money. So like right now, this is just not an area that I really want to trade. Even though we had this breakout right here back to another high, it's still only one breakout out of all of this. You have all of these levels in here and it just makes it too hard. Makes it very hard. So when you have it that hard, you're better off just to walk away from it. Makes sense? People think they have to trade, and you don't. And if we go back and look at, oops, didn't want to do that. Turn that off. We're going to go back over here and look at the current NQ. Now this was a very good winner, but it's not a winner for me because the balance is right there. There's not enough money right here to get my profit. You know, we finally broke out of this area, but if this comes all the way back down into here, I'm not looking to take another loan. If this would come back to, say, the balance and then push up and then we get a signal here and it's still green background, I would take it because we have a lot of room here to make money. The SPY money level, those are my personal levels, and I respect them greatly. I know what they are. I manually make them, and then I have an indicator that puts them on everybody's chart. So as of right now, for me, it's not tradable. All you have to do is just look back the last hour or so. Right now, this is what, 6:23, and if we look back the last hour or so, there's really no trading in here. You know, there was no trade here, no trade there, no trade here, no trade there. This one here was no trade really because of the level. So what we do is we walk away. We don't trade. So I'll come back later today, maybe do some live trading, and we'll maybe get some more trades. Sniper is a very good indicator. As long as you follow the rules with it, it works really well, and the rules are basically what I just went over as your levels.